Well, hello. I'm Ian Stewart, and this is what I'm calling Wide Net of Esoterica. We're all mostly stuck at home right now, and I figured this was a chance for me to be able to share some of my knowledge with you in your own homes. Whether it's timber framing, or the care and feeding of hand tools, architectural history, Dutch architecture, farming. If there's something that I know that you want to know, send me an email to widenetofesoterica@gmail.com and we'll see if I've got the answer for you. I'm going to try and keep these videos short, 5 to 10 minutes, just so that, they're not overwhelming. I'm going to try and keep information small, easily digestible. So instead of one long video, I'm going to do a bunch of smaller ones. Some of them will be from my library right here. Some of them are going to be from my workshop. And when I can travel on good days, as long as I maintain social distancing, some of them will probably be from around the county, where I'll be able to discuss in more direct terms architectural history or various components of timber framing, Dutch houses, Anglo-Dutch houses, that sort of thing. So, send me questions. I'll see if I can answer them. Today we're going to start very simply with some of the language of architectural history. Build up a vocabulary, as it were. And these are terminology used in the timber framing world, in the historic preservation world, in the architectural history world. Some of it's even used in the real estate world. So sometimes we all get it wrong. And I'll probably get it wrong, but bear with me. So where are we going to start? Form versus style. Everyone's heard, oh, that's a Greek revival, that's a Dutch colonial, that's Victorian. And these are all styles. This is not the form of your house, this is the style of your house. So whether you have a post-medieval English or a Queen Anne, tells the architectural historian, tells the person reading that or hearing the description, gives them a mental image. You tell me you have a post-medieval English house, I'm going to picture a salt box in New England, probably has a jutting second story with pendants. If it has the original windows, they're casement, timber framed, typically has the jowled posts with an English tie joint. And you're hearing me rattle off all of these terms, and don't worry, as we go along, I'll teach you these terms. If you know them already, awesome. If you don't, as we go through these videos, you'll learn all these words and the images that go with them. So that's style. Form is literally the form of the building. So, you're driving down the street and you see a building, a house. You can describe it by its form. And when you're describing it by its form, you want to look first at the central portion of the house, the main body. So, driving along and there's a house. It has a door. It has 2 windows. It's 2 stories tall. And it is oriented with its gable to the road. This is in fact one of the most prevalent types of historic house in America, and it is what is referred to as a Gable End House. What does that mean? Well, it means the gable is the end pointing towards the street. Simple. Now, in the language of architectural history and vernacular architecture historians, we talk about bays, which are openings in the facade. A door and 2 windows means it's got 3 bays. Now, this will get confusing later when we get into timber frame terminology, when bays is the space between vents, but we're not going to get into that today. It'll just confuse you. So you've got a door and 2 windows with a gable pointing towards the street. That's a 3-bay gable end house. You tell someone it's a 3-bay gable end house and you can picture it. You're driving down the street, you see a large 2-story building with a door in the center and 2 windows on either side. That's a 5-bay center entrance, probably center hall. That's the form. Hall and parlor house. You'll hear that get rattled around. That's a form. So when you're discussing architecture, you discuss either form or style, or discuss form and style. Neither can give you the complete picture. You say to someone 3-bay gable end house, they know what the block, the mass of the building looks like. You'll hear them use the word pile. So, if it's a 5-bay center entry, 2 pile deep, a pile is a room. So if you look at a house and you say it's 2 rooms deep, and it's 5-bay center entry, I can now picture in my mind, so you've got a front room and a back room, center hallway, probably a staircase in the center. That's the house. There it is. I can picture that. But that doesn't give me the style. If somebody tells me it's a 5-bay center entry, double pile, Georgian, I've got it. And that's when you start layering in also building material. So, 5-bay center entry, double pile, brick, Georgian. Wood-framed Georgian. Now, so it's a brick Georgian. Now we know it's got a center door, 2 windows on either side, it's 2 rooms deep, and it's composed of brick. And it's Georgian. And Georgian has its own set of rules for its style. If you said 5-bay center entry, double pile, brick Italianate, form-wise, it's still the same form. Stylistically, I know it's an Italianate. It's got to have big, heavy brackets. The windows typically, the doors have these sort of half domes over them. Later on, when we get into the styles, I'm going to try and dedicate an episode for the major styles you'll run into, at least here in the Northeast, because those are the ones that I can get to quickly. I'm not going to go into French Colonial because I'm nowhere near Louisiana. I'm not going to go into Spanish Colonial. But, yeah. So, form, style. I'm hoping that sort of sets us up. So you've got form, which gives you a visual image of the massing of the building. And then you can add things like, it's got a kitchen L, it's got a wing. L's come off the back, wings come off the side. Double story, 2-story, 5-bay, center entry, double pile, brick, Georgian, with a single-story kitchen L. That paints me a very specific picture. And hopefully by the end of these videos, you'll be able to do the same thing and be able to paint yourself the same picture mentally, or describe to someone a house formally or stylistically. So, again, if you've got questions, send them to widenetofesoterica@gmail.com, and we'll see you next time. I'm Ian Stewart. Thanks.